The National Rifle Association has for decades been one of the most powerful lobby groups in the U.S., fending off attempts to rein in gun laws through the strength of its millions of members. But even as it tallied successes in recent years, cracks have emerged as members and powerful donors shared concerns about its spending, management and the widening gap between leadership and the rank and file. New York's Attorney General, Letitia James, gave ground to those concerns in a civil lawsuit filed on Thursday that alleges brazen illegality in the NRA and seeks to dissolve the organization. The 168-page lawsuit outlines the workings of an organization in which, allegedly, dissent was not tolerated, spending was not disclosed or approved through the proper channels, and oversight was negligent. The NRA announced it was countersuing the Attorney General's office on Thursday and said the lawsuit was a politicized attack on the organization. "You could have set your watch by it. The investigation was going to reach its crescendo as we move into the 2020 election cycle," the NRA president, Carolyn Meadows, said in a statement. "It's a transparent attempt to score political points and attack the leading voice in opposition to the leftist agenda." These are some of the key takeaways of the lawsuit. The lawsuit accused the NRA's leader of nearly 30 years, Wayne LaPierre, of extensive use of the organization's funds for personal travel, including flights in which his family or associates were on board but he was not. From May 2015 to April 2019, the NRA incurred over $1 million in private flight expenses when LaPierre was not a passenger. The complaint said the NRA's board did not authorize or consent to these expenses. The complaint details several of these private flights, including one which cost $15,000 to get his niece's husband from a convention for the hunting group the Safari Club in Las Vegas to Nebraska. LaPierre testified to the Attorney General's office that his niece was working at the convention, so he flew her husband out to help with childcare, but then her husband had to return to Nebraska for work before the convention ended. "It's really almost very hard to get commercial flights back," LaPierre testified. If LaPierre lost a re-election bid or retired, he would be paid at least $1 million a year, per a post-employment contract referenced in the lawsuit. There is no evidence this contract was reviewed or approved by the group's board or any other committee, nor is there evidence it was disclosed to membership, according to the complaint. "I didn't ask for this contract," LaPierre testified to the Attorney General's office, saying extensions to the contract were prompted by a desire to retain rights over his name and likeness. LaPierre continued, "It's what was presented to me and I signed it and it never went into effect because I stayed on as EVP, Executive Vice President."